Egyptian military's ouster of President Mohammed Morsi on July 3rd further emboldened the United Arab Emirates and other Gulf states to step up arrests of suspected Brotherhood supporters, whom they see as a threat to the Gulf's tightly run fraternity of monarchs, sheiks, and emirs. Several thousand Brotherhood members have been arrested in Egypt since Morsi's fall. In Cairo, Sarah Sonbal explained how UAE authorities in December blocked her father from leaving the country. Muhammad Ali Sonbal, a Muslim Brotherhood supporter, was originally from Egypt but had worked in Dubai for decades as a doctor.
A force of maybe 10 people came and they took him. We stayed for about 2 months with no idea about him, where he was, who exactly are those people. We called the police. They told us that they have no idea and maybe it's a national security thing.
Nicholas McGeehan, a Gulf researcher with Human Rights Watch, confirmed that people from outside the UAE, some with links to the Muslim Brotherhood, are being detained.
In the UAE, one of the things we saw, and one of the things that was most alarming about the crackdown there, was the extent to which secret detention facilities were used. Numerous people were effectively disappeared and taken to detention centres. We're unsure of the exact location of these places. It's important to stress that it's ongoing. It's not just Emirati dissidents who have been put in jail. We now have a situation where various Egyptian people, some with associations with the Muslim Brotherhood, some not, now appear to be in these secret detention facilities and will themselves face the same sort of trial, probably an unfair trial.
Several Gulf countries have stepped up as critical sources of cash for Egypt's new military-backed leadership as it cracks down on Morsi's Brotherhood. The UAE, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait have promised the Egyptian interim government $12 billion in aid. UAE officials have declined to comment directly about the Muslim Brotherhood arrests, but the Gulf's rulers have long considered the organization a danger, with one government-backed organization going as far as to call it a terrorist organization and predicting its downfall.
This is the end of their story, and then this story will be ended. No more Muslim Brotherhoods, because here in the UAE we consider the Muslim Brotherhoods as a terrorist group.
In Saudi Arabia, for example, the Brotherhood's version of political Islam is seen as a challenge to the country's monarchy, which follows the strict Wahhabi interpretation of Islam. The group is also seen as part of a wave of Arab Spring upheavals, which so far Gulf rulers have clamped down on.
The crackdown in other parts of the region has perhaps been less aggressive. But there is certainly the distrust that I referred to earlier. But it's in the UAE where you see this real intense, visceral hatred almost of the Brotherhood and a very intense crackdown on anyone suspected of association or affiliation with them.
Now, Gulf officials have become fearful of anything that could serve as potential platforms for the Brotherhood. In rhetoric, at least, the group has begun to replace Iran as the region's most worrisome threat. The exception is Qatar, which has cultivated the Brotherhood region-wide and strongly backed Egypt's Morsi. In early July in the UAE, 69 people, including a cousin of one of the country's ruling sheiks, received prison sentences of up to 15 years after being convicted of having links to an Islamic group, Al-Islah, which is suspected of having ideological ties to the Brotherhood. The United Arab Emirates says 30 others with links to the Brotherhood, both Egyptians and Emiratis, are soon to be put on trial for alleged plots to overthrow the monarchy.